welcome. 8 o'clock on a what, Tuesday? Yes. Man, I have just been working so hard. Belle of the Bayou, Rumble, yellow, orange, red. First comment. Yes, I know that you're there, and I expected you to be here because you're going to help me with this novel, right? Yeah, so we're going to be writing a little bit tonight. I will say that the first writing episode, which was chapter 2, it's kind of been left in the dust. I basically worked all weekend on this novel, and I'd say it's 80 to 85% done. So I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't know. I mean, where this comes from. It's the muse. That's what John C. Wright says. And I don't really know where it's going. And I don't really know what it is. It just is what it is. I'm integrating a lot of my stories from my career. And it's 85% draft I'd say, to get to the first draft. So once it's drafted, then I'll go back and I'll edit it through. I've just been writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. So, and I've got new ideas. I've really got it all worked out till the end. I could have spent today. I mean, I don't know. Give me a couple more days and it will be in fact, I'm so confident of where I am that I've ordered the cover to be designed by Grok. So, and I'm actually thinking, because I'm working on how to market this better, because my books, they do okay, they break even, but this is the kind of thing that I think could explode. It's like 50 Shades of Grey meets John Grisham, right? So I'm expecting this thing to get up in a month. I mean, as soon as my cover gets up, I will start pre-orders. That's how, and the cover could be done in a week. So my pre-orders could be done in a week. I'll put it up on my website. You guys can pre-order it. Now, what I'm thinking, I have a new concept, and a lot of you guys are authors. And so I'm going to talk about, we're going to do some writing. But once we get writing, that can kind of get boring. So I'm going to put front end some of the stuff I want to talk about. I have a new concept for how I'm going to print this. Remember I told you about 99 Designs, which is my buddy Grok, and 48 Hour Books, which is where Prepare and Death Penalty Debates and Ideas and Answers Law, all these books here, and their quality is spectacular. I must say, like, the quality on this is top notch. And you can get these. This is a hardback. They've only got 3 of these left for $85. But what I'm thinking I might do is, for you pre-order people, is do hardbacks. So I will just do pre-orders on hardbacks only. And this is what I'm thinking. And then I'll order like 20 or 25 or however many people order. And it'll be like maybe $50 a book or something. It'll be expensive, but it'll be top quality, first edition, only available from me first time, right? And then what I'll do is I'll shift it over to Amazon. So Amazon, let me show you what I did. Okay, so here's Death Penalty Debates. So if you buy this from me, you get Death Penalty Debates. I sign them, autographed. Here's the back cover. See there? And it's pretty nice quality paper. So this is from 48 Hour Books. Now, I just, as an experiment, I ordered a Death Penalty Debates author's copy off of Amazon, and they printed this. Now, it took them a long time. 48 Hour Books turns around quick, but I sacrificed time. And this is the only copy in existence. So this one is author copy number 1, first book from Amazon, author copy. There's the date. So that way I know it. But look at the back cover. See, now the back cover, I didn't really have my buddy Grok, and I was just slapping it together to see if I could get it done. But this is, I'd say it's a little more matte. The paper is definitely bottom end. I mean, I know that 48 Hour Books, I have nicer paper on this one, because when I sign them, it bleeds through a little bit. But you see here, like, there's the bleed through. You see that? But these are a lot cheaper. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll order for all the pre-order folks. I'll get the hardbacks from 48 Hour Books, because then I'll know exactly how many people actually want the book, pre-order first edition, hard copy, signed, top of line, right? But if you want to wait, once I get those pre-orders done, once I hit send, then I'll work on the ebook and the soft cover copy from Amazon. And I'll order my soft cover copies from Amazon. And these are a lot cheaper than 48-hour books can print. So I think I've got a model where I'm not going to be losing money, because the problem is I have to buy these books in a 125 book lot. So I'm working on that, because you can get Death Penalty Debates is now on Amazon. Now, it's not a bestseller. I think I've sold 10. I've sold 10 ebooks off Amazon, and one soft cover. But I can order author copies and sell them off my website, and they're printed a lot less. Audiobooks, Death Penalty Debates is on audiobook. Prepare is available on audiobook, but only at stevegosney.com. And I read both of them. And I will say it's very professionally done. You will never get less than the best from the guys, right? So, yeah, I could just do ebooks, but you know what? This guy, I'm a lawyer. I love books, right? So to me, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some hardcovers for me, because I love having a nice hardcover with my name on it. And I like having the set. Now, so the pre-orders, so this is the way I'm going to work it. And I'm sure this is the way it's going to work. So artwork's going to come in from Grok. I'm going to prove it's going to be done. That'll probably be a week or two. At that point, I'll be very close to a finished draft of Death Penalty Desires, right? I will then do pre-orders, hardback only, probably $45, $50 a book on stevegosney.com. That's only going to be able pre-orders, only hardbacks, right? And then what'll happen is then once I cut it off, once I'm happy with it, because obviously I'd have the pre-orders, but I'd still be working on the content. Once I get it drafted, then I'll go over to ISBN services, convert it to an ebook. I will cut off the thing and I'll switch it over to Amazon. I'll order myself a bunch of soft covers from Amazon at a cheaper price and give it to you price. So if you want to wait, I'll give you a very inexpensive, maybe less than $10 a book for Death Penalty Desires from me, or you could order from Amazon and ebook from Amazon. So that's what I'm going to do. So just save your pennies, because you want that first edition hardback, because it's going to be one and done on that, because I like having them. That's why I do the hardcovers on the 48-hour books. After you order 100, you can convert 25 to hardcover, and that's like an option. So I'll save enough for hardcovers, ideas, and answers. I've got a few more of those. I've got 5 left of the limited edition hardcover ideas. And this is a fundraiser. Because this is like 6 of 9. See there, they're all numbered, signed and numbered, ideas and answers in law. I've got 5 of these and 3 prepares left. And once they're gone, they're gone. Because like I said, those are very hard, expensive to print. And when this book, when Death Penalty Desires explodes, you guys will have just because you're my buddies and supporters, you will have the first edition original hardcover, top-notch quality from me, signed and autographed from there. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Because I love Lily. Okay, so Lily's here. I've been ignoring the chat here. Let's see who's here. We got Sadie, Bell. Who else? Lily, Slidey Pie, AG. Yes, and Slidey. This book is designed for the ladies. I will say Death Penalty Desires. I'm targeting you ladies, because I'm in my 56, 57. I was born in 67, so however old that is. At this point in my life, I think I understand you guys, which is amazing, because boy, I've worked a lifetime trying to figure it out. But I think I got a handle on it. I've had some help by the internet. Bob Bill, good to see you. You desire to see the step up the executions. How dare you? Do you know who you're talking to? No, we need to eliminate that. Danielle, good to see you. Maybe Danielle, maybe you can, I don't know. See, I don't want to tease anybody, because it's a sexy book, this one is. I'm a hippie with my hair, you think? Order the smut book. Oh, so it's Nick Starro. And Nick, okay, I need you to do something for me, Nick. I'm glad you're here. Okay, one of the things I'm doing is I'm putting in, there's a lot of stories. So the arc of the story is, there's a woman, she's accused of murder. She is goes through there's a discovery, she's arrested, there's a trial. She's convicted, she's sent to death row, she spends time on death row, and then something happens at the end. Basically heroic lawyers. But I'm creating this trial, and a lot of the trials, it's interesting because one thing I like about My Cousin Vinny is the law is real. So all of the law that I'm going to put in this book is going to be real deal. So I want it to be as true to life as I can. Now, I will say when I'm writing it, people are like, nobody's going to believe this. Nobody's going to think this is the way it is. But it is, because this is almost, in fact, there's one trial that I've just stolen a whole bunch of information and stuck it in there and told you exactly the way it is. And I'm going to cite cases, and it's going to be like lawyers, and you're going to go through like a real courtroom drama, but it's fiction, but I'm making it up, but it will be real law. So you could actually learn from this and get your smut. So how's that? Now, Nick, you're there, right? You still there? Nick Starro, Trial Watch? I'm going to put in a Zachariah Anderson witness, okay? And I want you to email me to help me out here. I might do the Sarah Boone trial. It depends how things go, and it depends. What I'm going to do is probably guest on some other channels. I'll drop in and see who wants me, and who will let me promote my books, who will sell the most books. But I have a credential from MLS Law. I have a press credential from MLS Law to actually get it. I got this so that I could actually go over to the courthouse and see the Sarah Boone trial if I want. But we'll see. So Nick, okay, you there? You there, Nick? Okay, here's the question. I want to put in a witness that is in the cell with my Amanda, who's my main lead female character here. And there's going to be a cellmate, and the cellmate is going to witness her confession, her dream confession. And then they're going to present it to the jury, where the cellmate says she confessed in her sleep. And then when I confronted her about it, she said, yes, I did it. Right? Remember that? The famous dream witness? So what I need you to do, and I didn't watch this whole trial, but I know enough about it. You guys have been shoveling to me, so I get it, is give me a little summary of how that went down, exactly what was said, and then I'll incorporate that story in the book. And so that will be one of the witnesses against our poor Amanda, our leading lady in the book, will be the jailhouse confession, dream confession. And then people see, this is the thing, like I'm going to include that in there, and it'll be one of the bits of evidence against our Amanda. And people would say, oh, that would never happen. That's so unreal. Right, Nick? I mean, people, if you said that, put that novel, people wouldn't believe it. But we're going to put it in Death Penalty Desires, and we'll let people question. And if it explodes like 50 Shades of Grey, then maybe Zachariah Anderson will get a little publicity because of the stupid witness, and people saying, no, that really happened. Did you see Zachariah Anderson? Okay, so Nick, can you do that for me? Just summarize it. Doesn't have to be long, a paragraph or two about who the witness, what exactly did the witness say? What exactly did they say? That's what I need. Okay. 50 Shades of Guilty. Funny. So that. I will tell you just a couple other things I've also been reading. I finished, this is a really good book, Larry Correia, Son of the Black Sword. I read this whole series. There's 4 books in this series. And this is great fantasy, because I was working on my fantasy novel, and I'm trying to get some inspiration, see how it's interesting. Now that I'm writing more like fiction, I'm really appreciating the writing that goes in. Sadly, book 4 ends and there's like a book 5 and it hasn't been written yet. I'm really upset. I want to get it. So yeah, I actually say I read this book, and then I knew I liked it, so I ordered the next 3, but I couldn't wait because I finished the book. So then I got this one, but then I finished the whole series on ebook, and then now I'm stuck with, I got 2 books. Yeah, you see, this is Cheryl Hall's call should be private. The prosecutor have no right to admit as evidence. You would think. Okay. Bob Bill, you're right about this. In fact, I had a really good professor from Alabama I interviewed on my Rumble channel who is an expert on the jailhouse snitch, and he is of the same opinion that you're expressing here. He doesn't think that they are. All right. So how are we doing here? I don't see Shane Sousa. Usually Shane is here, but maybe he's actually working. Any mods? And how are we doing? Oh, and also I've been watching so much Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny group is just spectacular. I love Pat Metheny group. And it's like I did this show on the Pat Metheny group, and here I am all over the place again. But before we get in, once I get writing, it's just over, right? So let me delete this one here. And I'm gonna look at a couple things here real quick. Boy, I've just been rocking it. You guys have no idea. And basically what it takes to write 18,000 words in 2 days is to just wake up and do nothing but write all day. But I have it in the mind. I have the structure. Now I will say, when I say I've got it in the mind, what I have is I have the concept. I have the arc of the thing. I'm a big picture guy, so I have the big picture. I understand where the plots is going to twist. I understand how that's going to go. All right. But I don't have the actual, every word thought out and written. I mean, that's not, let me see. I got to delete this thing here. Hold on. Delete forever. So, yeah, that's that. Danielle's here, but driving. Yeah, and I kind of want a female volunteer to read this for smut content, but I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. I'm a happily married guy, but I want to make sure it's titillating and not offensive. So that is a challenge, because the ladies can be, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think I get some of it. We'll see. Maybe I'll just put it out. I almost thought about putting it out under a pen name, because it's going to be some third. Yeah, report the smut. You want to read the book and report on the smut. All right, let's get to it. What do you say? It's 18 minutes. Do I have everything here? Oh, and I was also thinking I'm going to do I watch this channel sometimes called Sea of Tranquility, and he does album reviews and music reviews and stuff and interviews. He had Mark Egan on recently, who's the original bass player for the Pat Metheny group. And he had a really good interview. And he did a recent thing called the 20 albums that changed his life. So I'm going to do a stream on that as sort of a fun stream. And I know at least some of them. So I'm going to go through my CD collection and think about which albums are great albums, ones I love, but which ones changed my life. Yeah, see, and okay, let's talk about this. This is good, AJM. What is that, AJ Mickham? This is, I'm not offended easily, so I'm not good judge. Okay, yes, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, because, see, now everybody knows me as I'm this Christian man. I'm happily married. I've got, beautiful son. I go to church, and I'm Christian, and I believe in the truth, and I try not to curse, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll get to that. I'm going to start. But here's the thing. I am not offended very rarely in my family. If you personally attack me, okay, if you're going after me personally, okay, I get it. You're personally attacking me, then you could offend me. But like situations, I don't get offended by things or words or said or something somebody writes and it's not directed at me. And you say, well, why is that? Like, I can write some real dirty, smutty stuff and violent stuff and vicious stuff and crazy stuff, right? But why is that? Because I see stuff. I mean, I've lived stuff. My life, my job, the crime scenes that I've had to deal with, the videos I've had to watch. I mean, that stuff is nasty, offensive, terrible, horrific stuff. Bloody murder of children and cops and people, and multiple murders and children getting abused. And I mean, the stuff I have to deal with at work is crazy, and videos and phone calls and listen to the audio, and I'm an auditory person, so the audio really gets me. The visuals are bad, but when there's audio, it really is harsh. So, then, okay, so somebody says the F word. I'm offended by the F word. I'm not offended by the F word, right? I mean, now I choose not to use it generally because I think it's a crutch for weak thinking. It's a way, you're expressing emotion. I get it, and emphasis, but a lot of people use it all the time. It doesn't offend me. I just choose not to. Okay. And my buddy Derek made me better on that. I have a foul mouth. All right. But I've changed that best I can. Occasionally I'll do it when I drink or whatever. So, same thing, like, when I write, sex stuff. Okay. Well, sexy stuff is sexy. There's violent, sexy stuff, which I've dealt with too. And I've seen that, and horrible. The stuff that you have to see in criminal law is just stick with your mind forever. It's darkness. It's evil, but it exists. Am I offended by somebody's novel? Right? I mean, you understand like what I'm trying to say here is that I'm not offended, so I might be a good judge. If people get offended by this, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to blow my image. I don't want people look down on me and say, "Oh, Gosney, he was this guy, and he was the Christian Catholic guy, and now he's this delivering smut." I don't know. I'm just sharing some concerns. I haven't yet decided. So enough of that. And who was that fretless bass player? It was the album The Firm. That is Tony Franklin. Tony Franklin is awesome. He's really cool. Nice guy. He was playing with Lou Gramm. Lou Gramm's All Stars right now. So if Lou Gramm comes around, go check out Lou Gramm and the All Stars, and you'll see Tony Franklin on the bass. And I'll tell you, Lou Gramm's road crew treated me really nice. I'm a fan of. I wasn't really a Foreigner fan. I mean, I guess they had some good songs, but I'm listening to them now. I'm a fan now because Tony Franklin opened my eyes, and the quality of the person. He's got a really nice autobiography. Lou Gramm for Foreigner does. Yeah, and sometimes it's the only words that'll do the job. Yeah, I get it. And and there's the thing is, if I'm creating a character who's a guttural street thug, he's going to use a lot of that language, right? Okay. So with that, let's see what we got here. Okay. Well, should I do that one or this one or this one? Or this one? Oh, well, so we're talking about, I'll start with the boyfriend because Jay Lee you got to go back. And everybody, if you're starting now, go back and watch the other stuff because now you're going to be like, oh, Gosney. Okay. So here we are. So I'm at 18,908 words. Can we see that? I'm sharing screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See there? 18,000 words. Can you see it down here? So you think I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding. Would I kid a kidda? So here's the boyfriend. So this is going to be up front. So there's not going to be spoilers. Now, I will say that we want to make him and all of our other suspects up front as guilty looking as we can, right? Now, who the actual killer is will remain a mystery, and I will not reveal it on here. You will have to buy the book in order to get the answer to that. Maybe it won't be solved. I don't know. But it's a murder mystery, and we have some suspects. One of them is the boyfriend. Now, if you remember, there's two dead bodies. There's the man who is a CIA Fed, and he is strapped down, tied all four extremities, strapped down with a mask on, tied to the bed. And the girl, he's got a young girl. She turns out to be a 17-year-old, cute, pretty blonde, who is dressed up in leather straps. He's naked on the bed, and he's got let's say a sex toy with a tail on it. That's the only thing he's wearing is this horse tail thing, right? And he's strapped down like on the bed this way, cuffed, or maybe it's rubber hoses or something, but he's in bondage. And he's dead on the bed, face up. and she's staying down at the foot of the bed, curled up, face down, and the what happened was what the crime scene appears to show, let's just leave it at that, is that somebody came to the door. She answered the door in her leathers. The guy attacked her with a taser, tasered her, incapacitated her, and then injected her with a solution, some kind of like anesthesia overdose, and then went over to the guy on the bed and injected him in the neck with the anesthesia also, killing them both of overdose from this anesthesia drug. All right. I looked into chloroform, and it looks to me that is a trope. That is not a real. It's like a writer's trope where they put the chloroform on somebody and they pass out. So I've changed the facts a little bit so that it is not chloroform. It is instead taser. She answers yes. Okay, well, there's a good question here. This is a good question. We'll talk. So that's the crime scene. Now, what we have is, who are our suspects? Well, one of the suspects is the boyfriend of the girl that's the 17-year-old girl that's dead. Okay. Oh, look at see, we got these crime watcher people. You crime watcher people, I'm glad you're my friends and you're peaceful, because I'll bet you guys could really come up with a very good murder scene. And I will say it, I could too, because I do this stuff and I know where all of the, and part of this book is going to be, a lot of it's going to be the perfect crime, or how the evidence unfolds and the things that you see. I mean, there's going to be so much real trial courtroom stuff, so much crime scene stuff that is like you see every day, that I think that you guys will love it. As people that like watching jury trials will really like this novel. Yeah, right. Raise your browser history. It was research, doesn't play with. Yeah, I got to say, I've been looking up sex toys recently. Hope the wife knows that I'm actually writing a book. I think she does. Yeah, only other fans could make sense. My Google searches are out there, right? Let's see. Is that motive easy or painful? Okay, well, see, you're thinking. All right, so let's talk about the boyfriend. Okay, so we want to write a chapter on the boyfriend. And the boyfriend is the girl's, this pretty young thing who's dressed up in the bondage. Now the old guy is older. He's an older federal agent, and he's into bondage. And she's doing the bondee. Is that the bondee? She's the bondo? I don't know. And his name's Brandon Aponte. Brandon Aponte may be a dealer, but tagging Erica Palm as his, that was a man's pride. Now, Erica Palm is the dead girl, okay? And this is before the murders. Brandon Aponte may be a dealer, but tagging Erica Aponte as his, that was a man's pride. No one called him Brandon. High Z, that was his street name. Some just called him Z. Even the low-level street folks could remember that. If they forgot, they just looked at the tattoos drawn on his face. High and Z. High Z. It said he. This says he. It should be High Z. Could make things happen. Right? Make things happen. That's what a man does. He was living the life, playing the game. All right. Erica showered in Z's flat, singing in that sweet teenage singing voice of hers. High Z played with his cell phone as he scratched his crotch. Erica's phone rattled. The shower drowned out the noise, so Brandon picked it up quickly. He read the text. Meet me at the Super 8. I'll bring the equipment. Okay, so that's all I have of this chapter. So let's write some here. Okay, so first of all, so you get it. This is the guy. Now, what is his motive? Jealousy, right? He owns, this is his bitch, right? And he owns her. And who's this guy? This guy who's whoring her out, right? He's the drug dealer. So meet me at the Super 8. I'll bring the equipment. And see, now he knows where the hotel, he knows the motel. I'll bring the equipment. So how does and by the way, if Let's Go Brandon, I use the name Brandon because of Let's Go Brandon, who sponsors me. He may want me to take it off. I'll do that if he wants because I'm going to hyphenate high Z. What do you think? High Z, maybe so. What do you think? I think high Z with a hyphen is probably the way to go. High Z, yeah. All right. So what do you think? What's he going to be saying here? Now I'm thinking what we could do is describe her a little bit better in his words. So here in this beginning, that's his life. He's playing the game. That's what people do. They live the life playing the game. He thinks he's on top of the world because he's got his hot, tight girlfriend, and he's just a no. He doesn't have a chopper. This guy is he's a drug dealer, but he's also a what do you call it? Hip hop kind of guy. With hat turned sideways, the big puffy jacket. All right, tattoos on his neck, high Z. That's who my guy is. All right. So what would he say? Let's talk about who Erica is because she's our victim. So we want to talk about Erica, the 17-year-old dominatrix prostitute this is her boyfriend, but she makes money with the Fed guy. Wouldn't you like it that the Fed gets whacked and is being domineered? Oh, and by the way, The Expert. I added a chapter called The Expert in your honor. So I dealt with one today. There's expert witnesses, obviously, and so I have a chapter just for you. And in fact, there's also going to be media coverage, and I'm going to pepper that with like all my trial guys. I should auction that off. If you want to get mentioned in my book, you got to pay me. That's what I should do. Like get Vices Vices is so good, but get like Ricada. I could put a Baldo in there. I could put a Baldo in the closet if I got sufficient remuneration. Suggested if you guys. So let's see. What's he gonna say now? Danielle, any of you guys that love me so much and think I'm all innocent and don't want to get the wrong idea, go away. Come back some other stream because we're gonna get vulgar because obviously it's not me, it's High Z, and High Z's talking about his bitch, right? So I'm thinking something like you got to help me here. Something like what a wild child Erica proved herself to be. But that body, oh my OMG, oh my God, oh my God, tight, right? Tight body. He liked him, Tiny. Let's see. Tiny. So he likes tiny. He doesn't like big. So like let's talk big breasts. He doesn't like big breasts, right? Because he likes tiny. So what would it be? Big boobs. Is that right? Ain't all that. Something like that. Whoops, isn't all that. See, we don't want proper English here. Ain't all that. Why doesn't he like big boobs? They just flop around when you's making love. Erica hit him just fine. Okay, so there you go. Fast group. Okay, so remember, got to give the warning. I wish I had a mod in here could put make sure they give the warning that they're coming into an adult themed stream today. Oh, that's pretty good. What do you think? S is on boobs. Okay. Big boobs ain't all that. Flop around when use. Is that the way use is spelled? Use making love. All right, good. So now he gets this text. So he's sitting there. Should I put I'll bring the gear. I think so. That's pretty good. Rosalind Duke. Okay, we're in the smutty stream, but yes, please do. American Law Courses Con Law, for sure. You like things high and tight. Where would I put that? Over here? You like things high and tight. It's pretty good. See, we got some. How about I put out the warning not suitable for children? This is not suitable for children. Okay, so he read the text. Meet me at the Super 8. I'll bring the gear. Okay, so how does he react to that? His eyes filled with rage. Right? I know. Okay, here we go. You're using a fucking whore. Right? What would he say? He knew what she did for cash. But here she has to smash it in his fucking face. Right? Narrowed with rage. That's good. See there? This is why I need you guys. Narrowed with rage. High and tight's a Marine's haircut. I don't know. Well, is high and tight not right? I don't know. Adult stream. Is it clear this is adult stream? Okay. He knew that she did it. She knew what she did for cash, but here she must smash it in his effing face. What do you think? Yeah, Haichi's a jerk. He is a jerk. I mean, is this guy likable? No. Trust me, I'm a Marine. All right, I believe you. All right, so what else does he say? Well, he knew who it was. That pervert liked a whipping, right? Yeah, he's snooping and blaming her what he finds. Exactly. That's isn't that what a jerko like this would do? Why? Yeah, pervert liked a whipping. Okay, so he's mad. Effing whore. You know, as notary, he knew it. She'd for cash, but here she, I think here she is, or here she must. How about she smashes? Pervert liked a whipping. Okay, that's good. How about here we go now, ladies? I'm telling you, this is the bad guy. We got to talk about bad guy. Let's see. How about he wanted that sweet P word for his tonight. Let's see. He smashed in a reply. We got to make it angry, like not to. I want to get spelled wrong. Send. Right? What do you think? Is that the way he'd react? She's got a real no, but see, he's gonna call him off, right? So here she's getting a call from the guy. This doesn't have to be the night of, right? It's just that this is a habitual thing. She she gets paid to domineer this Fed. And he knows it. So he's jealous. And he knows what she's doing, right? So he's pretending to be her. So he's like, because he wants to, she's in this shower and in his thing, and she's pretty, and she's his girlfriend, right? And here he gets the calls calling her out for her work, and he's like, he wants to have sex with her, right? So he's gonna say, answer on her behalf, not tonight, some other time, send. Got it? Okay, I think so. So then shower stopped. What's he think? Okay, so what's he thinking now? Yeah, freedom. So you guys, freedom ring. See, this is why I should probably do this under a pen name, but I'm showing you the creative process as it unfolds. Freedom ring is a very respectable lawyer person, and I'm writing dirty smut law, and so we have a criminal here who's the boyfriend, who's a drug dealer, and he's jealous because his girlfriend's a whore and she's going to go sleep and he wants to pound her. Okay. Let's see. How about he's angry, right? So he's gonna rage. Right? What do you think? That's what he's thinking to himself. Oops. What do you think? Well, then this is possible, right? This is possible. But the thing is that because it hits his girlfriend, if he's just jealous with the guy, then he would kill the guy, right? But he's jealous at the situation, and she's included in that situation. So um, she's a target of his anger. Now, when she's there, he can get his sexual outlet, right? She's there, and he's going to take out his aggression and anger. Yeah, we should get Baldo over here. Maybe he can help with this. He would love to help this. He needs to pay me though. That guy's rolling in it, right? I'm just a poor working stiff. So yeah, so that's the thing. His motive for murder here is jealousy and anger at her. Um, this is their dynamic. Right. Well, but she's just doing it because she's getting paid. She doesn't really, I don't think she cares about the I don't know many 17-year-old girls that really want to be dominatrixes. I think it's generally, well, there's a dynamic that's going to be said in the story. But my understanding of feminine psychology is that if I was to put odds, now there are there's girls that do like to be dominatrixes, but I'm going to bet that most of them like to be the dominatrixee, right? The person that's getting the dominatrix done to, right? So, and I'm sticking with that theme. All right. So what else we got? Do you think that's enough? I mean, that's a good way to end it. I'm going to make her pay. We could just have a short little chapter there. What do you think? Or I can come back to it. You want to come back to it? Let's go to a cleaner suspect, the rogue. So here's the rogue. We're going to shift gears now that you got your little dose of smut. The CIA, what a joke. They're more interested in going after the easy mark. Some anti-abortion protesters, lock them up. They don't put up a fight when the handcuffs drop. March down the street dressed up like a bunch of Nazis, then arrest the dummies who join in. Easy. But Butch Smallwood, that guy loved to bust the hardworking criminal. 5 years. It was nothing. Good behavior. Maybe while inside. Amos laughed at the system. The system just processed people. Justice came to those who made themselves vulnerable. Amos Gates was not vulnerable. Agent Butch Smallwood, CIA officer, undercover Fed. Amos Gates never forgets. Okay. Right. So this I think that's a good motive. Don't you think our boyfriend has a good motive to kill? But now so does this guy, Amos Gates. Amos Gates never forgets. So how do we buff this right here? Because there's one. Or do you want to see a different one? Or we can see another suspect? Are you guys inspired? Come on, help me out here. You guys, see, you're all fixated on the masochist. You see, you like the sex stuff. See there, this is the thing. Um, really, that's true. I don't know. See, Nick Staroff is an expert on sadomasochism. All right, the CIA. What a joke. Hi, Mrs. K. Grift. Close your ears if you're easily offended. We're writing dirty novels. CIA, what a joke. They're more interested in going after the easy mark. Some anti-abortion protesters, lock them up. They don't put up a fight when the handcuffs drop. March down the street dressed up like a bunch of Nazis, then arrest the dummies who join in. Easy. But Butch Smallwood, that guy loved to bust the hardworking criminal. 5 years, it was nothing. 5 years, it was nothing. Good behavior, maybe while inside. So he's saying in the inside, he's good behavior. Amos laughed at the system. The system just processed people. Justice came to those who made themselves vulnerable, and Amos Gates was not vulnerable. Agent Butch Smallwood, CIA officer, undercover Fed. Amos Gates never forgets. Now we could just leave it like that. If you're not inspired, if you think, I mean, what this is we got to set up now. Amos Gates has got a motive, right? What is this? There are rules in that community. I read everybody was raving about it, and I could only get through like the first few paragraphs, and it was just terribly written. So I can't say that I'm I mean, I didn't. I'm doing it my way. This is really turning into more of a murder mystery than. You're here for Dirty Steve. Okay, thank you, Mrs. K. Grift. And I'm writing this for the ladies, so I want you to enjoy it. And I know you guys are law fans, so I'm making a great crime novel for you, but it's going to have sexiness in it because I'm writing it for the ladies. All right. Want to see another one? Let's look at another suspect here. The thief. Amanda and Butch Smallwood. What suckers? Abraham Kisling, CPA. These are just notes. The accountant insider this is how I write. The accountant insider who's stealing the couple blind. The naive woman trusts somebody with a bunch of letters after their name as if education equals ethics. See there's little lessons in here. Too easy. That stuck-up rich chick gave him full access to all her investment accounts. So easy just to shuffle a few losers over to her side of the ledger. Amazing what bad luck Amanda Smallwood has in investing. The accountant thief is into crime. He borrows money back to pay back. Okay, so he's into crime literature and crime books. So let's see, she's semi-rich. She's well-to-do. Her husband, he's a Fed. They live in a nice area. They're not poor. She drives a Porsche. He drives a BMW. You know, they live in a moderate suburban community, but it's a nice community. So he invests in factoring or high interest promissory notes. This is to a local used car dealer whom he partners with. I got to say, these are notes to myself. So this will give you a little insight into the structure of what I'm doing. So right now, this paragraph I could stick right here because this is good writing. This is writing that will be in the book. This kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a Porsche. The Porsche SUV. I'll even find it for you. Porsche. It's a cyan. How do you spell that? Porsche Cheyenne or something? Okay, I don't know. She drives a Porsche like Cheyenne, I think it's called. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it. Wait, I understand that, but the dominee in this one is going to be the guy. The guy is the one that's paying to get dominated. Yeah, Cayenne. That's it. C-A-Y. C-A-Y. Let me see. Yeah, 2023 Porsche Cayenne. That's what she drives. So let's buff this Amanda and Butch Smallwood. What suckers? Even CAA. We got to talk about what he likes. What suckers? CAA. New. How to handle money. And yet, life. Other people's money. Right? Because he's upset. Yeah. Easy pickings. See there? 4. Yellow, orange, red. You are awesome. Easy pickings. Slim pickings? Easy pickings. Pickings. Abe knew how to handle money. He'd been doing his whole life. Other people's money. Rich people's money. Bastards. Right? So he's mad because he's not making enough money. So he deserves to take their money. These rich people don't even know when it's missing. It took him a while to get there, but now he had his own practice. That made everything easy. Too easy. See, look at you. See, yellow, orange, red. You know, you should write. You have a good writer. So here's what he's going to do. So he's stealing Butch and Amanda's money by shuffling money around. All right. He has their money squirreled away. Now, this is based on a real case that I handled when I was in private practice before I prosecuted a case. In fact, one of the cases that lured me into criminal law, because I handled a case for a couple, literally little old ladies who had put all their retirement money into what was called high interest promissory notes. And there was a guy who was selling these. And if you look at the Florida statutes, it's accounted for. And it's like 8% interest. So he would sell these little old ladies, and they used insurance companies to sell little old ladies high interest promissory. Why are you making 1% in the bank? I can make you 8%. And every 9 months, if you want to get out, I'll roll it over. Or I'll get your money back. But if you want, you can just roll it over and you'll keep making 8%. What a deal. And I'm going to give you a little piece of paper. A little piece of paper says, high interest promissory note, interest 8%. It was in I think it was in $10,000 $10,000. So these people put $10,000 in, and it worked. They'd get their interest, and they'd say, go ahead and roll it over. And he'd give them a little report, and then At one point, they needed some money, so they asked, "We'd like to cash in a couple of these notes. So would you send us the $20,000 of two of the notes?" And the guy rolls it over, doesn't tell him, it's like, "Oh, what? You rolled it over." And he said, "Oh, no, no, we wanted our money back." "Oh, well, I rolled it over." And it's they're suspicious, and he was giving them a big line. They had invested $280,000 in these things. And I remember the lady, I'll never forget. It's one of those memorable cases. The lady comes in. It was her and her elderly mother had put all of their money into these things. And she brings in these pieces of paper, like single piece of paper, high interest promissory notes, promise to pay. I'll even tell you who it is. McCarnes Allstate Finance Inc. That was the name of it, out of Tampa. And they had these things, and they had all these notes. They said, we just want to get our principal. We want to get this back. And when I looked at those pieces of paper as a lawyer, I said, if you get any of this back, I will be amazed. And they're like, "Oh no, we just believe it. It can't be. That's not right. Mr. McCarn is such a good guy. He's such a nice guy. He would never do that to us." Let me see if I can look it up. Let's see if we can. I'll give you a little. So you want to see? Do you think I'm lying to you? You see, let me see. Gosney's gonna. This is This is what I've been involved in my whole life. Lawyers are risk avoiders, right? And this is why. Check it out. You see this? United States Attorney's Office, Nevada. This guy was operating. How do I zoom in here? All over. See this? All over the country. You see that? Yeah. This is a little story. So you didn't expect you're going to get this. So I'm basing this guy a little bit on here. United States Attorney for Nevada, man who sold unregistered securities in the form of 9-month promissory notes to victims in Nevada, Florida, Alabama, Arizona, California, Georgia, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania, has pleaded guilty to fraud. James Hoyle McCarn, age 65, a resident of Tampa, Florida, waived indictment, pleaded guilty, 2003. I came into criminal law in 2004. 2-count information. Look at this. Losses of investors of $49 million. Almost $50 million scheme. Carnes security fraud is believed to result in losses of amount of $50 million. He served as president, owner, and director of 3 businesses: McCarnes Allstate Finance Inc., McCarn Enterprises, and Century Bay Enterprises from approximately 1995 to 2002, so over 7 years. He committed securities and mail fraud. Victims invested anywhere to $25,000 to $668,000 in promissory notes. And they were $25,000 promissory notes, right? They were $25,000 each, right? He ended up getting 100 months in prison, in federal prison, and 100 months in federal probation. And then the bankruptcy. And do you want to hear how much was left? $50 million in losses. When they collected everything that he had left, they had $2 million. So 4 pennies on the dollar. So that was a case that, in fact, I was one of the reasons that the guy went down, because I said, this guy's a criminal. He's a criminal. And I was working with the Department of Business Finance in the feds to bring this guy to justice. I will say it really sucked. But so see, this is a little story from the past. Now I'm going to combine that story with another little story that I have later on. But so here's our guy. He's going to be investing the money. the other people's money in these things, our accountant guy. And he's going to think got this great business. He's going to make money. He's going to steal it, but he's going to make it. He's also, Mr. Accountant guy is also, accountants tend to be real picky people, very detail oriented. And he's going to be very obsessed with crime novels and true crime. All right. So that's his other interest. So he's studying that maybe because he wants to get away with the perfect crime. So accountant stealing them blind. Now, why would he have a motive to kill Butch? Why would he have a motive to kill Butch Smallwood, the Fed, that he's stealing from? Okay, so yeah, right. So he's got a true crime interest. He's got interest to true crime, and he's also he's stolen their money, and he's an accountant. So let's take a look back here. Let me go back to present, share screen. Are we having fun? Okay. So here we go. The thief. Amanda and Butch Smallwood, what suckers? Easy pickings for Abraham Kisling's CPA. Abe knew how to handle money. He'd been doing it his whole life. Other people's money, rich people's money, bastards. Took him a while to get there, but now he has his own practice. Own accounting practice. And that made everything easy. And that made everything easy. Too easy. That stuck-up rich chick gave him full access to all her investment accounts. So easy just now. See, here's an example of I use easy too much. Here's easy, easy, easy. So I got to change that. So simple. Just to shuffle a few losers over to her side of the ledger. Amazing what bad luck Amanda Smallwood had in investment. Now, here, this one is from the old Hillary Clinton scheme, making $100,000 on the cattle futures. Remember, because what she would do is they had favorable accountants, and what would happen is they'd have a trading day, and all the cattle futures were there, and then what would happen is they'd have a portfolio of people they represented. Well, all the winners got shuffled over to Hillary Clinton, and all the losers got subsumed into everybody else's investment portfolio. So she just kept hitting it big. All of her stocks were wonderful because the cattle futures that came in big would get assigned over to her. So she made $100,000 on it. She was a brilliant investor. But what they're really doing is assigning losers to other people, assigning the winners back to themselves. All right. So what bad luck for a second? His portfolio always seemed to hit the winner. It helps when you can backdate the transactions. So we don't need this because that's what he is. Naive woman. Let's see. I like the word naive. And I like this word. How about just instead of the, how about generally? Naive women trust someone with a bunch of letters after the name as if education equals ethics. Now, how are we going to talk about the crime? True crime. He's into true crime. I know he looks over. How about if he? But we don't want him. Don't want him in his law. Let's see. He's in his. I know we can do it. It helps when you can backdate the transactions. We're going to do this. So he's in it. He backstates the transactions when he's at home in his den. So then we can show, because if he's got true crime stuff all posted around his office, that wouldn't be very good, right? So he needs to be in his den, in his home den. His home office served as backdating central. Typing in the terminal. The money losers knew the score. Let's see, Abraham. Let's see. Breathe in deeply. Self. Something like that. A poster. What would be some true crime? Yeah, this is all of these are, and it's all observations. The thing is I don't know. So a post, what is it? What is some? He's going to look up on the wall, and there's his true crime memorabilia. So what kind of items would he have hanging on the wall that would feed his true crime obsession? Let's look at financial murders, some sort of souvenirs that he might collect. You guys are we can say whatever we want. Philip Marlowe? Who's Philip Marlowe? I'm sorry, that's a bad question. You probably guys laugh at me, right? Philip Marlowe poster. Doesn't have to be a poster. It could be like a memorabilia item. What would be a famous murder for hire or money murder, or maybe just money that results, thefts that result in murder? A real drawing by Trent. Yeah. A real drawing of Charles Manson. That's okay. Real drawing. Manson. So Charles Manson, newspaper clippings, right? The drawing, about this, the drawing by Charles Manson. Was original. Scored that pickup on eBay. About paper clippings adorned the frame. Please on a mouse play. Does that work? Maybe not. We don't want to make it like you pretended to be a rich. We don't. Older crimes hard to get stuff from the clutter. That's a good one. Mafia, maybe The Godfather, right? Godfather. It's a score debt pickup on eBay. Context, added value. How about this? A Godfather movie poster. Is it the Manson? Sometimes barrier between truth and fiction blurred. Put that in the same paragraph. I don't like is blurred. I think it's just blurred, right? True crime. Learn how to get what you want. Example? Well, no. About an audible laugh escaped his lonely life. Reflected on the walls filled his obsessions. This one could probably move up. I think we could probably move this up here. So, you know, put it right there. Central spelled right? Dating Central? That's pretty good. What do you think? Just him sitting. Yeah, so we almost have like a Walter Mitty kind of character, right? You know, Walter Mitty. There's a good one. James Patterson, Filthy Rich. Maybe we could put that up here. Dating Central. What was it called? Let's see, how would it be? Dog-eared copy. Rated down. Too many smashes, too close together. Where's smashes? Did I dog-eared? Okay. Where's my smashes, good fella? Fine. Aha. Good. You're behind, but okay, the crime scene. Boyfriend. So we're down to the account thief. See how fun this is? You're helping me out. Blatantly, it's too complex a word for our boyfriend. Remember, he's a street thug, so you want to make it little. The language has to reflect the person. That's a good one. This is a good one. Let's see. So where are we going to put that? Right here, I think. Maybe. About the payoff came when they thanked him. So we show that we got to show he borrows money to pay back. Okay, so this is coming. This is what McCarn did, factoring. You want to hear more about McCarn, Allstate Financing, what he was doing? Something that I got to catch up with you. What are you guys saying? something that hunts alone. What is that? How will I incorporate that? Round the empty room. The lonely room, the darkened room. No one noticed. With those, okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got to help, Sean. What do you mean? Those criminals and with some solitary animal known to have no social structure. I don't know. Borrows the money to pay back. Keep us factoring. Good. So, all right. So we have that. A comma after Smallwood. Where's Smallwood? So you guys, I think you're catching up. You're not all. Where Smallwood? Quickly darted. Okay. Okay, I see. It's quickly darted. I know what we're gonna do. Where's the terminal? About that. You just rolling. Okay, I got it. I'm just working. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty good there. What do you think? So that's pretty good. I think we got some good stuff here. So, and I leave these little notes in here for later because the concept, I have to understand the concept of how he's stealing the money, why he's stealing the money, how that factors in his motive to kill. So if he can the perfect crime is if he kills the husband and frames the wife for the killing, then he can take all of their money, which he does. So that's what I want to do. So how far come from shifting real his mind contemplated thought. Illuminated. What kind of image would he do? They way. Possibilities. Untested plot. About something like that. So you just write it, and then come back and edit it. So what, like, this is what I'm talking about. So we're just kind of creating here is yeah, yellow, orange, red. Yeah, you're having fun. I see. So you're a writer. I don't know how entertaining this is, but um, I'm just I'm going to write anyway. So you might as well join in. And you guys are making some great suggestions. Yeah, a little foreshadowing there, right? Exactly. See there. So I like the pin lit up like a pinball machine. It's mine. You like this? You're having fun? Too much fun, huh? So let's just take a little bit. How are we doing here? That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. So we're at 19,349 words. So we wrote about 1,000 words. See, I mean, if you just keep chiseling away at this, if I did this for 8 hours straight, I'm just giving you. See, people wonder how you write. You just focus on it. We're not distracted. We're doing things. We're just doing this, right? We're doing it together. Okay, so it took us an hour to do 1,000 words. So 8,000 words in 8 hours. Okay, and it is fun. So I'll show you where. Here's the update the entire table. So here's our index. You can see I'm at 142 pages. All right, well, I'm gonna stop it there, but let's want to read, okay, because you guys, I read for you the crime scene before. All right, I'm going to reread the crime scene because I worked on it after we got done. So I know that you're into it, and maybe not, but the people that are here not, right? So let's go ahead and read the crime scene again, given that now we have at least 3 suspects up front, right? And we're going to work on it some more. We've got the thief, Abraham Kisling, CPA. Kisling, see that word is like, you ever heard, Quisling? Quisling was the betrayer prime minister of Norway, I think it was, who collaborated with the Nazis. So Kisling is sort of a nod to Quisling. So you remember that. And then we have the boyfriend, High Z, Brandon Aponte, but nobody calls him that. And then you have the rogue, the CIA guy, which we didn't really work on him, but I'll work on him some more. This one, I need to think through exactly how this guy comes back in. I know how the other 2 come back into the story, but this one I'm not really sure. Quisling. Okay, so here's the crime scene. So let's go ahead and read the crime scene so that we can get a feel for what we're doing. All right. So we have the first 3 chapters are 3 suspects, like setting up some possible murders, right? The rogue. Okay. The crime scene. Police tape cordoned off Police tape cordoned off the 2nd floor of the Super 8 motel. Blue lights flashed off the walls of the building. Uniformed policemen meandered about, waiting for the arrival of the homicide detectives. Looks like we got 2 stiffs in the motel, one of the middle-aged cops mumbled, sipping a hot cup of coffee. Sipping a hot cup of coffee? Under the unlit light poles, not needed on a Saturday afternoon. When are the brass gonna get here? I got paperwork sitting, waiting for my sweet love. I don't know if I like that. Paperwork. I got paperwork waiting, came the response. Just another day on the beat for the road patrol. But that roped off room contained taped off room contained the end for many lives. That thought, however, did not cross the minds of the veteran cops. I don't know if it crossed the minds. Oh, brains. That did not cross the brains of the veteran cops. That's a little more gritty. The unmarked car rolled up with a single blue flashing light stashed under the front window. It seemed like a device from the 70s, but it made the point. The engine sputtered to a stop, revealing its vintage. The driver door opened, and a squat detective climbed out with a grunt. Balancing his own cup of coffee in one hand, let's see. Driver door opened, a squat climbed out with a grunt. Balancing his own cup of coffee in one hand. Clearly, this was not his first rodeo. Okay, so one thing, here's another tip. By reading it out loud, you can hear how it sounds. If you're reading it and you stumble, then there's a problem with the sentence. So you need to make it so that it reads audibly well. So by reading this, you can feel for whether it's, so I'm editing as I go, as I read this and say, okay, now does that make sense? All right. Who's got the scene? The detective asked. Sergeant Rogers, one of the cops said, over there, and he jerked his thumb and went back to his banter. Sergeant Rogers stood next to a sparkling alpine white BMW sedan 760i, looking into one of the windows. Hey, boss, the jerk waved with one hand. With a non-coffee hand. What's that? See, and again, I that's not a word, but it is a word, right? You know what I mean. So I'm going to say it. What we got, Detective Cross had wanted to see the game, but some people had to go and get themselves killed with no thought for anyone else's viewing habits. I think I remember somebody helped me with that paragraph. I think that's pretty good. Own, his own cup of coffee, drop the own. About Java cup. No. Hey, Cross. Okay, so he says, what we got, Detective Cross had wanted to see the game, but some people had to go and get themselves killed with no thought for anyone else's viewing habits. Hey, Cross. The Sarge had been around enough to drop the detective before Cross's name. Two stiffs upstairs. Looks like an older guy having some fun with his young lady friend. We are thinking this is the guy's Beamer. Nice one. The detective seemed less impressed than he emoted. He pulled out a half-used pack of Marlboros and a well-worn Zippo. With a practiced click, the end of one of the cigarettes glowed with flame. Do we have the dusters coming? On their way. The detective expected no less. The sergeant had seen enough dead bodies to make a mortician blush. Where is the control list? The Sarge held out a clipboard, blue ink scribbling a listing of each name that had come in or out of the taped area above. Cameras? Sergeant Roger pointed out the surveillance cameras that may have captured something of interest. You go pull them. Thanks, Sarge. Guess I got to spoil this Saturday, too, Detective Cross mumbled as he sucked in a lungful of fumes. He grabbed the stair railing, one flight to the open level and a couple of doors down. He took another puff. Upon arrival at the second floor breezeway, the detective dropped his cigarette on the concrete, squashing it with his toe. He ducked under the yellow crime scene tape at the top and approached the second floor door from the stairway exit. Room 203. A quick scan of the outside revealed nothing of interest, but he made a note to come back for a more careful look. He pulled latex gloves from his pocket, squeezing his hands into them like a form-fitting prophylactic. The door hung partially open. The detective peeked around the corner, gently pressing with a gloved hand. The rusted hinge squeaked a greeting. The single motel room smelled of old pizza. He said a quiet thank you because the smell covered any more disturbing odors. He had grown too accustomed to murder scenes, but not that smell. Immediately apparent were two bodies. Neither showed signs of wounding. Obvious signs of wounding. A fit, naked, middle-aged man lay tied to the bed, face up. Bushy black hair covered his chest, and some kind of tattoo on his left arm. Military? Each wrist and ankle was wrapped tightly against the bedpost, secured with what appeared to be some kind of rubber hose or rope. A simple black velvet mask concealed the man's dead face. Actually, I'm going to make that. Squinting, the detective spied some kind of object lodged tightly underneath his pelvis. A tail? Kinky. On the floor next to the foot of the bed, crumpled up an unmoving young blonde. On the floor near the window. So yeah, on the floor near the foot of the bed, an unmoving young blonde crumpled. Shame that. She seemed rather pretty, but the lack of respiration made her fate obvious. Scraps of black leather served as the dead woman's clothes, if you could call them that. They did not cover the parts that they should. The detective had seen way worse. Puff is too girly. Looking down, he scanned the floor for any evidence. Looks like a man's, how about this? Just say, a man's wallet. Maybe drained of cash and dropped by a robber? A full keyring had been tossed on the bedstand. Need to get that for the BMW. An unopened Giuseppe's pizza box sat on a round table next to the entrance. That explained the old pepperoni smell. The motel chair served as resting place for a simple woman's housecoat. The rest of the clothes must be in the other side of the bed or maybe in the bathroom, unless they both arrived naked. Unlikely. He drew in another breath. There was something else, a chemical. What was that? The floor dusting teams would come in next, so he did not enter. He got the picture, some kind of sex killing. So the floor dusting teams, I will tell you, this is something you guys don't even know about. Crime, true crime. I had a case, one of the bits of evidence in the case, these cops are really smart, I got to tell you, is and it was solved partially. It was a big breakthrough in the case. It was a great cop detectives team, homicide team, and this is a real story. And what they did is the cops were very smart, and they backed off the scene as soon as they found out there was a murder there. And they had people came in and dusted the floors and were able to pick up shoe prints on the floor. I can't tell you all the details of it because it was a client, but I thought it was a brilliant bit of cop work. So the floor dusting teams would come in next. So he did not enter. He got the picture, some kind of sex killing, maybe a jealous lover, maybe a psycho. He bet on the psycho jealous lover. Threesome gone wrong. Now that would be a first for him, but it happens. Drugs, possible. We'll see what toxicology says. Of course, it could be just some random robbery gone wrong. Most murders have no motive. See how you're learning as you read? This is Gazdi. He knows. The dusters did their work. The cops who entered previously provided shoe impressions, as had the front desk clerk who discovered the bodies. The desk clerk was low on his suspect list. Overstaying your paid room time usually did not result in murder. And why would an hourly clerk care anyways? Maybe they would get a lucky shoe print. Maybe a fingerprint on the door. Once he got in the room, he'd have to game it out. The dusters arrived professionally deconstructing the crime scene with trained efficiency. The detective sat in his car beginning the first draft of his report. The front desk clerks had a name, but they had been paid in cash. Had a name for the two souls, but they'd been paid in, but they had paid in cash. Not unusual for an old motel like this one. Not that it was a bad part of town or Heim crime area, as the brass like to say. They only use that term when some beat cop wanted to justify a random stop. Here, the truth would do. The crime-free area of the motel caused the law enforcement officers very little trouble. Generally caused. About this. There we go. Don't need to save it here. See, I'm trying to wipe out my technical writing. So let's reread this paragraph now. I've reordered it. The front desk clerk had a name for the two souls, but they had paid in cash. So that not unusual for an old motel like this one. Not that it was a bad part of town or high crime area, as the press like to say. They only use that term when some beat cop wanted to justify a random stop. The crime-free area of this motel, the crime-free area surrounding this motel generally caused law enforcement very little problems. The truth would do. Hmm. All right. Photographers next, capturing all angles of the bodies. The detective directed different angles. In the bathroom, a bottle of lube spilled out over the countertop, along with an array of sex toys. That would make the media happy. Extra pictures there. Turning back to the room, the detective saw a pile of clothing kicked under the bed where he expected. Okay, yeah, two poor souls. Hair and coal. See, you're into the smut word too. See, there, us Christians can have fun, can't we? He opened the pizza box, peeking in to see a whole uneaten large pepperoni, banana pepper, and pineapple pizza. He grinned and thought, the guy deserved to die for ordering pineapple on his pizza. 2 stiffs? Well, we used stiffs earlier, so. Gallows humor. Got to send a cop to Giuseppe's Pizza to see if there are any leads there. Next, the detective leaned down and examined the wallet. Might be DNA of the killer here. He checked his gloves and motioned over a crime scene tick. You're laughing because there you like a little humor there, right? What else we got? Collect this and let me see some ID. The tech carefully gathered the wallet for later DNA analysis, but laid out some of the cards for the cameraman and detective. I don't think we need to say floor. Bed. The dead man was Butch Smallwood. Butch Smallwood, CIA. Nice. No gun around. Could the murders be some kind of professional hit? Not enough information. He stood up. The man's body lay naked on the bed, exposed to the camera flashes. No wounds of any type. Poison? A black mask covered the eyes. The man's eyes, the body. The man's eyes. They covered the eyes, but not mouth. I don't know. I don't like that. A black mask covered the eyes, but not his mouth, which rested partially open. The chemical smell seemed to be coming from the body. He leaned closer. The smell grew stronger, for sure, next to his head. The detective made a note for the coroner. He looked further down. No genital mutilation. That hair coming from underneath the man's pelvis? Something there for sure. What was that? Some kind of horsehair tail? Whatever it was would be recovered by the coroner. Wait, a bit of blood. Yes, there was a small puncture in the man's neck area. Noted. He moved over to the young blonde, not yet identified. Quite pretty. Not your run-of-the-mill streetwalker, if that was going on. Maybe just a girlfriend. But why the seedy motel? And the age difference made him think call girl, and a pricey one at that. Was she even of age? Hard to tell from a cursory glimpse of the curled up body. A flat chest did not mean underage necessarily. She was face down, but the body suggested she had been very pretty. You could tell, very rare for a body like that to have a face that did not match. A close look revealed no wounds. The same chemical smell came from the girl's the girl's head area. I don't know if I like that. Things medical came from the girl. How about that? Karen Cole, see there? Oh, you see, I do too, actually. People love that joke, though. Okay, the coroner arrived. As they moved the bodies, Detective Cross observed and took notes. The girl was first. As the body team rolled her over, he got a better look. Yes, she was a looker. Now, see, we got look and look. Got a better view. Yes, she was a looker. What a shame. That black leather getup struck him as quite absurd. But in her front, 2 bloody marks. Those were taser prong marks for sure. So whoever it was came in and tased the girl, then administered some kind of lethal poison to the tied-up CIA guy. Professional hit was becoming more likely. The man's body was next. The horsehair thing turned out to be firmly secured. Was that post-mortem or a willing insertion? Both were possibilities. Looking back to the nightstand, he did not think the killer had touched the keys. After the obligatory photo, he grabbed them. Nothing else jumped out. Walking down the stairs with the key ring, the detective called out, "Corporal, radio Sergeant Rogers and tell him that after he gets done with the video, to get over to Giuseppe's Pizza and see if they have anything worthwhile." He pushed the key fob and the BMW chirped in reply. That was easy. A new car smell arose from the open door. Spotless interior. The owner liked tidiness. That much was clear. A quick visual inspection revealed a manila folder in the back seat. Not much else. Wait, under the dash. Yep. Glock 19, concealed pretty well. Standard government issue. The manila folder content was much more interesting. The papers, divorce. Seemed like the stiff had been consulting with a family lawyer. A dead man was married to one Amanda Smallwood. There was a suspect. Need to get on that pronto. Maybe bring Amanda down to the station for a little chat. On the way to Amanda's house, Sergeant Rogers reported to the radio the pizza place didn't keep records. Cash business. Cheats. Write a report. Meet me at the station. I'm going to talk to Mrs. Amanda Smallwood, intentionally emphasizing the Mrs. So, what do you think? That was my... What do you think about that one? I just like pizza. So you got a preview of the crime. Is it a mystery? Mystery novel? Erotic fiction? Kinky killer sex things? I don't know. Well, there's more. So anyway, that was just one chapter. Like I said, I've been working on it. How do you think? Smell, mouth, scalp, hair, details are important, right? Sounds good. Does it get you interested? Do you want to know what happened here? Do you want to figure out the crime scene? It's actually going to turn into like a crime. It's a crime mystery, and it's also going to be a legal, like a trial, a death penalty trial with all kinds of motions in it. It's already in there. It's already done, and then a whodunit, maybe a mystery in there, maybe a little love or a lot of bondage, sex stuff, and love and lust. And so it's like I said, it's about 80% done, but it all happened this last weekend. That was easy, not really necessary. That was easy. Okay, let's see. See, people are rolling around. Oh, there's my wife. She's got some tea. I better go have my tea. And let's do the old. I don't know if anybody. You got a few people here. Let me find eliminate. That was easy. Line. Okay, yeah, you're right. Took that out. I am very interested in what's happened. What's going to happen? Good progress. Need to find a woman's scrap by the pool. What does that mean? Woman's scrap by the pool. Scarf. Why is that? Throwing in like little odd clues, little odd things that don't make a difference. Well, one of the things too is that there's this woman who's really interesting, and what's her name? Um, she's this vegan girl from New York, and she tuned me into you ladies. So I'm going to play into the ladies' fantasies. What's her name? Um, yeah, My Non-Leather Life. So there's this interesting woman called, I don't know what her name is, but she's got a web channel called My, what did I say? Non-Leather Life. I just looked it up. My Non-Leather Life. She's got 102,000 subscribers, and everything a woman does is rational, and I'll explain why. And so she's got a lot of stuff about female psychology. So I watched a couple of her videos to kind of dig that out and to make this, because I want to write this for my lady fans, to give them some smutty novel like this 50 Shades of Grey. But 50 Shades of Grey, I tried reading it. It was terrible. So I want you to read this, be titillated, but also learn something about maybe how the police work, how they extract confessions and statements out of people, what the psychology is behind the cops, what the psychology is behind the lawyers, how things happen in courtrooms, the violent reality of prison and death row. And you don't have to read it. Nobody's forcing you to read anything, Molten Souls. It's okay. I understand. It's kind of got to be. It's definitely going to be adult fare, though. All right. So there's going to be murder, RAPE. There's going, or at least attempt. There's going to be bondage. There's going to be double homicide, right? There's going to be drugs, and there's going to be violence. I mean, everything, right? So it's going to be all that. I've got a lot of other fare, but the thing is, my reality is so dark and evil that. But this is crime, and people want to know why. One of the things I'm going to explain in there is crime is driven by passion. A lot of it's irrational. People want to find these reasons. My wife watches all these English drama TV shows where there's murders, and there's like the professor murders the person because they had a paper due, and the person copied them, and there was a insurance policy and this thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, read true crime. And here's the thing, is I'm going to talk about a death penalty case. So this is an imaginary death penalty case, because a double homicide qualifies for death penalty in Florida, and I'm putting it in Florida, and I'm going to be giving you real evidence objections, real procedures based on real cases, things that really happened, like the Nick Starro and the Zachariah Anderson sleepy confession that nobody would believe comes in, but does. And it's going to be so outrageous, the truth is stranger than fiction. So, okay, yes, well-written, indirect. It might not be I know you're a very pure woman, and I respect that. That's why I want to put the disclaimers on it. Yeah, I know. This is the thing. Like, turned out there was a sex scene in a Star Wars novel. Like my favorite, I think the sexiest movie I've ever seen. Of course, it's generational, but was Risky Business. I love that movie, man. Rebecca De Mornay. But nowadays people are like, it's not even sexy now. I mean, I don't know. People are. This is fun. Okay, so Danielle's it's different. It's inspiration. Like John C. Wright says, you got to follow your muse, and the muse is just blasting. So I got to honor the muse. I've got to let it go, and it may be dirty and stuff like that. Maybe I'm going to ruin my reputation. All my followers will leave me. But don't buy the book if you're offended by that stuff. All right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, but I think that if you read it and you aren't offended by that stuff, you might learn a lot. You might learn a lot of procedure. You might learn about the reality. And I'm telling you, everything in here, I'm not going to put anything in that isn't absolutely true, couldn't absolutely happen. It couldn't absolutely happen. One of the reasons all us lawyers really like My Cousin Vinny is because the law is so right on it. It's like, yes, that's exactly the way that could happen. And that's what I want to do here. I want to have somebody go to death row, and then you will go through the whole process and live it and feel it and be part of it, and maybe be the woman, right? You could, as the woman, you can relate to the woman about what she's doing. So I want to have it surrounded by it's. At first, I was just thinking I would almost make a humorous. I'd be like laughing at the female um, fantasy world. But the more I wrote it, the more I'm into it. The more I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm gonna give you that because I love the ladies and I want them to have something they can enjoy. But it's all these other details are coming into it from my career and my practice that it's becoming a lot more um, mystery, crime, trial, drama type book that's reality based, that's very connected with, and I'm taking cases that I've had and dropping little things in and little non-disclosures things. Um, so it's fun. It just kind of it blasted. The inspiration just exploded, and when that happens, you gotta capture. Like, so I just took this whole holiday weekend and just wrote, and it's 19,000 words. Like right now, I could put it out at that number. The word count is sufficient for a novelette. I mean, it's longer than Summer Friend right now. Um, but the thing is, I'm not going to be driven by any word counts. I'm just going to finish it. I'm going to put in all the twists and turns and novels, and I'm going to flesh it out and give it substance and put meat on the bones. And then once I've completed it as a whole, then I'm going to put it out. Or then I will start the pre-sales, and then the editing process will occur. So while the pre-sales are occurring, maybe a month or 2 month lead out, and then I'll finish editing it, making sure I'm happy with it. Maybe send it to a couple choice people who volunteer to give me that they will definitely read it, because I'm not going to be held up by people anymore. I mean, I'm not going to wait around for somebody to finish a forward or a back review or anything. I mean, I'm have confidence enough in my writing that I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. Yeah, if you have good characters, just yes. I'm not. That's, and I'd say that I need to work on my level of detail and my character development. Sure, I don't know Lee Childs. Okay, so let's see if we can find a Ghazni raid thing, and we got to do the Ghazni. Although, last time I did one of the Ghazni raids, I did one, and who was it? Was it Aussie? And Aussie, like he had checked out. I'm like, wait a second, he wasn't even there. But I said Ghazni raid, and he wasn't even on camera. So we're not going to do that. We're going to find somebody to raid. All right, and we're going to just gotta say Ghazni. I love that. That's so much fun. You love his, I've got yellow, orange, red is his hooked, huh? You're hooked on this. I'm telling you, it's all, you don't know the numbers of chapters that I have written. I mean, practically the entire trial is written. I mean, you just don't even know. Let's see here. Let me find live. Okay, who is up? Who do you guys want to watch? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's deal. You guys you chatters are part of it. Has helped me out, man. Yeah, I don't know who's streaming. Well, experts. Taco trivia. I hate the trivia show though. Ugh, there it is. Ah, the trivia show. I don't want to do the trivia show. Sorry. Good night. Slidey Pie not going to jury duty. I want to do jury duty. Good logic on Rumble. Good logic. It's at 10:15. We can hang out for a little bit and then dump over to good logic. That would be fun, huh? Okay, let's do that. So let's hang out for like 8 more minutes. Maybe let's go back and I'll show you a little more of the story. What do you think? Redirect. So I'll show you a little bit more because you guys hung out to the end. Yes. Okay, good. So we'll be redirected in when I shut down, and we're going to wait for. So let's go back. You want to see a little more? Let's see what we got. What else can I show you on this one? All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? You want to see the. Okay, I'll show you some. I'll show you a little more structure. That'll be kind of. This is kind of interesting for you writers out there. Oh, here. Let me show you this. This is So this lady right here, My Non-Leather Life, 102,000 subscribers. She has some interesting videos. Let's look at the most popular. Like here, this one here, I watched this. The core fantasy that drives women to O and Y. This is really a good video. And this one here talks about, it's very good. Here, let's look at it real quick.
Hello guys, it is me, Victoria, and for today's video,
here she is. So this is the alpha in love. This is her structure. The alpha in love. That's the structure that drives women crazy. So I definitely am buffing that and taking. So thank you. And so that's, yeah, it's fantasy. And this is all fantasy stuff. It's not real. I mean, like, the thing is that the hero is the Studley appellate lawyer, of course. I mean, it's all fantasy world. It's not real. I mean, come on. I'm a happily married guy. But then again, I mean, you know, fantasy breeds little children, and little children are good. All right, let's see. I want to show you something. I'll show you a couple more things, and we'll do the book. All right. Present. I want you guys to check this out. This guy, this is a great. Okay, so here is this is Pat Metheny Group. This guy, tac_YouTube. This concert is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Holy cow. This version of Third Wind, just killer. Let's see here. Let's see if we can. I'll show you a. Here, listen to this. Listen to this shred. Man, that's Pat Metheny. Is he smoking or what? Holy cow. Pat Metheny Group. That's one you should watch. That's one. Okay, then we're gonna show you a little more death penalty desires. I want to show you this. This is, we're hanging out. You guys still here? Is everybody still here? Did you enjoy the show? It's a little different. I mean, where else are you gonna see this stuff? Come on. All right. Can you see that? Yeah. So let's take a look at death penalty desires. Passion, Murder, and Death Row, a fictional novelette. So we had all characters in this book are fictitious. Any resemblance to person is coincidental, except for the late Judge Wolf. He really was that bad. And except for that appellate lawyer at the end, he typifies all the hardworking and sexy appellate lawyers who work in Florida. Okay, so and these opinions are not the contents of my personal stuff. Nothing to do with the public defender's office. We got that. All right. You think the subtitle's extraneous? Passion, Murder, and Death Row. Death Row, Passion, Murder, and Death Row. Passion. Okay, well, we can change that. You think the subtitle, Death Penalty Desires, is going to be it, but I could change the bottom. What do you think it should be? What do you guys think? Subtitle. So look here. So now what I do is, see, when I have the plot worked out and I know how people are going to go in. So you have, if you've already seen the thief, the boyfriend, the rogue, right? The crime scene. Look what else I've already finished. We have the meeting, the interrogation, the charges, the prosecutor, the investigation, the casework, the partner, the expert. See, there's the expert. The deposition, the media, the mitigation expert, the motions, the jury selection, the dust up, the opening statements, State's case day 1, state's case day 2, state's case day 3, rebuttal case day 4, closing arguments day 5, page numbers, I'll show you that in a second, yellow, orange, red. The verdict, the penalty phase, the sentence, death row, the neighbor, the warden, the conversation, the benefactor, the appellate lawyer, the cell, the appeal, the offer, the call, the transfer, the demand, the execution, the escape plan, the reassurance, the opinion, the post-conviction plans. I might change that one. The break, the exoneration. So there's that. So here, what you do, this is auto-generated. So I can just update the field here. Now we've update the entire table. We'll change my headings. So that updated everything. So now we're at 145 pages. So it's a murder mystery set in the world of criminal law. The book is part of my fictional line, is meant to appeal to the more adult reader. Adult, mature reader. Thank you to everyone who bought my previous books. Thank you. Guidance, encouragement, my friends. Books on both online and real life. I guess that's the same thing. And in real life, you guys are real, aren't you? In real life. Oh, how about real online and real life? Especially to Jeff from Legal Vices and his. Oh, and David from the Weiss Crowd, whom I through. And my chatters who helped with some of the writing, right? You guys, you get a credit. Legal-minded friends, Karen Cole, send me I'll send you a blank if you want. I'll send you a blank template. I'll take this, strip that all out, and send you a template. Thanks also to officials like Josh Pritchard at ISBN Services, who makes a finished product into a Kindle book, and Grok from 99 Designs, who did the nice cover logo, which is coming. Nice cover, and is doing the redesign of all, and did a redesign of all my books. And thank you, all my book covers. Thank you, General Reader. Right? Yeah, so ISBN Services, he does ISBN numbers, but he also converts things to ebooks. So once I get them done, I'll have that. 3. Slidey Pie, you have 3 of Steve's books. You need 5. Which ones don't you have? So we have the Prelude. This was actually another chapter that I have now since moved back down. I dropped that down. So I'm not sure if that's going to stay there or that's going to be deleted. Molten Salt, I'm sorry. Send me an email. Do you read Kindle books, ebooks? So then we have The Thief. You read that? The Boyfriend, High Z, The Rogue, and that I need to buff this one. The Crime Scene, we did that, right? The Meeting. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We've got, and then of course we go all the way to the back. And then we have, I've already got About the Author done. This is on page 145. I'm assistant public defender, current duties, board certified criminal trials. This is basically the same stuff. You know all that stuff. Prior to his service, he worked 6 years private practice. Author of many previous books. I'm starting to get many now. Ideas and Answers in Law, Prepare, Death Penalty Debates, Summer Friend, Brucie the One-Eyed Wonder Dog, and soon My Difficult Dog, if you guys help. Death Penalty and Death Penalty Designs, Maximum Due Process. This is the book I'm working on at work, which is going to be a training manual for death penalty appellate lawyers. And you can go to my books, music, or just donate in support of my work. Go to stevegosney.com. So there. See, we can peek at the end here. I don't know. I don't want to reveal anything. No, we can't do that. Okay, let's see here. That was pretty cool. Oh, and a Brucie coloring book. But see, Brucie coloring book, I only have a few of these left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 coloring books left. People have been buying the coloring books. That's great. And I don't have a lot of Brucie. You guys have been buying Brucie. That's good. And 3 hardcover prepares. Hey, Danielle, did you get your hardcover prepare, right? And I've got 5 hardcover ideas and answers in law. And these are to help support. If you want the hardcovers, they're to support. Soft covers are available. Those are the ones that if you just want the content, you get that. But okay, I'm adding an S to passion, legal-minded friends, Karen Cole. Okay, let me look at that. Maybe. Passions, murder, and death row. I don't know. I think it's got to be because they're 3 singulars. Okay, let's see. Is good logic is up. Okay, so ready? We're ready. We're going to dump you over to the good logic. You're going to say Gosney raid, right? Going to do that? All right. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out. Next stream will probably be my top 20 albums that changed my life. It'll be a music stream. So I'll do that when I feel like it. And yes, I use for all my ebooks, just ebooks. Well, if I want an ISBN number, I go through ISBN services. But his ebook conversions are excellent. All right, ready? Good night. Say Gosney raid.